the fight town of Ghana, Sportsworld visits the breeding ground for some of the world's best boxers. An inspiration for all, how a South African teenager overcame blindness to fulfill his love for football. Bubble wrapped, why a teenager from Mongolia and a former Olympic champion overshadowed the unveiling of Beijing's Olympic pool. And around the rings ahead of the Beijing Games, we'll take you behind the scenes at the Olympics Insider's website. Welcome to Sports World, Al Jazeera's regular look at sport around the globe. I'm Farah Ismail. The African nation of Ghana has been in the news this year for its hosting of the Cup of Nations. But Ghana is making sporting headlines for more than just football. The country has produced a series of champion boxers, and most of them come from an unlikely home. It's a tiny, poverty-stricken slum on the outskirts of the capital, Accra. Sportsworld's Andy Richardson went to Bukom.
Sport doesn't get much rawer than this. In Accra's desperately poor district of Bukom, boxing is interwoven with daily life. It may be hard to believe, but time and time again, the area has produced world-class fighters. It was in this open square that Azuma Nelson, arguably Africa's greatest ever boxer, learnt the skills that saw him become a three-time world champion.
The normal play of the people here is they try to group themselves and then fight as groups. And that's it. So it is in our blood, it is in our genes. So we try to put that into reality and make some money out of it too.
Bukom is part of Ghana's Gar province. There are people who throughout their history have been famed for their strength and fighting ability. Boxing then was their obvious sporting outlet.
On the days when they don't go out to fish, they will have these fist fights. It was said that, you don't use any weapon whatsoever, bare knuckle fights. And the rules were that you don't use any weapons, as I've said, and the champion emerged after, engaging each other in fist fights all throughout the day. It could last throughout the day. So that's where the traditional strength of Ghanaian boxing comes from.
Boxing is right at the heart of this community. The gyms that are on just about every corner here, much more than just a passing diversion, the sport provides the possibility of a way out of poverty. The long list of champions and world champions Bukom has produced, all the motivation the next generation of fighters require. Frank Frimpong, known in his gym as the Big Shark, is just one such contender. He's already the heavyweight champion of Africa and is about to head to the United States for the next stage of his career.
Maybe after my first fight in the States, I just want to get I want to be recognized there first, then I'll continue from there, maybe 4 or 5 fights, then I'll see what will happen. But I'll be glad to bring one of the world titles here. That's that's my ambition.
Improvisation is just one skill that's essential in Bukom. Fighters have to warm up wherever they can. But when they move into the gym, the atmosphere is one of focused intent. And while the coaches will always be looking out for their next champion, boxing here has to be put into a wider social context.
We are crammed in this area. There are a lot of people here, and it's the survival of the fittest. So at least you have to do something. And I try to put some meaning into the lives of the young men. I don't want people to be strayed in the streets or maybe doing bad things like this and stuff like that. If you can't get anything doing, you start thinking of bad things, maybe armed robbery and that kind of thing. And I hate to see that happening. So I try to put some meaning into the lives of the young people around.
I was talking to our current IBF rated #1 boxer, Joshua Clottey, and Joshua is based in America, and he was training for his final eliminator against Alvarez with the cold, sub-zero temperatures in New York. He's got to get up and go and work at it, go on the road. And he said, look, Moses, I had no problem at all because I could throw my mind back to my circumstances in Ghana, and I said, boy, I have to go and do this for myself, for my family, and for the people of Ghana.
Boxing is often referred to as the sweet science, but in Bukom, the simple equation of talent combined with unblinking dedication seems to be working just fine. Andy Richardson, Al Jazeera, Ghana.
In football, earning respect from teammates or opponents is never easy. But 18-year-old Dumisani Tombela has done exactly that for the way he plays and coaches the game. What makes it such an incredible story is that he's blind. Rahul Pathak has more.
Dumisani Tombela loves playing football, just like millions of other 18-year-olds in South Africa. But his passion for the game is very unusual. Dumisani is blind.
Take this ball and put into the plastic, and this ball makes a sound when go like this. You just hear the sound of the ball and follow the ball and follow the sound, you know.
The blind soccer fanatic has come a long way. His whole neighbourhood laughed at him when he started playing 10 years ago. Now he has earned the respect he craved.
I started the football in 1997, but I want to see me, the people see me growing up, don't see me stay like, hey, Dumisani, how you start the football, now you are sitting, you are sit down, you do nothing. I tell you, the disabled people can't do nothing. I want to prove the people wrong.
At the age of 14, he started his own football club, the Silver Spears. Every day he coaches younger players after school. Their blind coach teaches them not only to play football, but also respect, and encourages team spirit in a rough township environment. Dumisani has an assistant who guides him throughout the game. The players' voices and even his sense of smell help him to create a mental image of how the match is unfolding.
Yeah, I have a kind of picture in my mind because of I hear the sound of the ball, I know all the position, I know the voice of my players, and I know what's happening in the ground.
Dumisani's life has been a struggle. He lost his sight to a disease at the age of 2 and has fought for recognition and respect as a footballer and coach without eyes since he was 8. On his 18th birthday, the South African state cut Dumisani's disability pension, and with it the club's finances. With very limited resources, his parents managed to keep the club going. While Dumisani is the club's brains, his father and mother are its heart and soul. The blind and disabled don't usually receive much respect in these neighbourhoods, but Dumisani has earned plenty.
The things he wants, he fight for them until he gets it, so that's why so many people respect him.
Respect may be important, but tactics and fitness are crucial for winning football matches. The over-14s are buoyed by news of a match with a club in Johannesburg. They need to prepare. Exercise and match practice have been missing due to a lack of shoes and the theft of the team's only ball. No clubs will come and play on their township pitch, but this game will be a rare opportunity for the Silver Spears, and one which prompted the entire neighbourhood to chip in and buy them a new ball. Highly motivated but extremely nervous, the Silver Spears take to the road for their first serious game in months, having raised the $50 for the bus hire. They've beaten their opponents several times in the past. But playing on grass is totally different from the hard, sandy, uneven ground in the township. The Johannesburg boys are fit, with far more match experience and keen to make up for their past defeats. In the end, the Silver Spears suffer a disappointing 7-1 defeat. With all that they've gone through to get here, even playing the match is a triumph. And the Silver Spears celebrate in style. Rafa Pathak, Al Jazeera.
Now, don't forget to have a look at our website, aljazeera.net/English, where you can get all the latest sports news and find out more about the show. Stay with Sportsworld, because coming up, bubble wrapped, why a teenager from Mongolia and a former Olympic champion overshadowed the unveiling of Beijing's Olympic pool.